Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FrostBytez Gaming Experience, part number 5 of the Pokemon Emerald walkthrough, where we are finally going to be going out of our way to doing the Dewford Gym. As again, in the last part, we decided, we don't need to actually beat the gym to go through the cave with Flash, because we can do it without the use of Flash, so we decided to come back and do it later. Now, with a 100% chance of just destroying this whole entire gym using nothing but good old Sableye. So as I stated in the last part, Sableye being part ghost makes him 100% immune to every single physical attack that can be used against him in this gym. Every single attack is either normal based or fighting based in this gym. Ghost is immune to it, so there you go. You get yourself a Sableye and you got yourself a free ticket to defeating this whole entire gym. Excuse me. Now with that said, it still takes a bit of a while because, number one, we're a little bit under-leveled, only being level 10. Our only moves that we have really are Scratch and Nightshade, which Nightshade, is the better move to use between the two in some instances because you get the guaranteed 10 damage no matter what, and the higher level you get, the more damage you do, but Scratch does have that ability to get the crit every now and then. The way we're going to be doing the gym in order is we're going against the Karate guys first because they have a Machop and a Makuhita. And we can just take advantage, again, of the fact that we won't get hit by anything. We can scratch them to death. We are not going to go against the Karate females first. Biggest reason why is because they have Meditite. And Meditite, one of its moves that it can use against you is Detect. When Meditite detects you, basically you cannot hit it. And the chances of Detect working get smaller every single time it is used. However, you lose out on, the PP of the move at the end of the day anyways, and the way I see it is this video in this gym is already going to take a small while anyways, so let's try and ramp it up. Sableye, once hitting level 13, has access to the move Astonish. So what we do is we go against the male black belts first, and we're going to do a double battle because we can have Combustion with us, and then once we hit level 13 and get Astonish, we can then take on the two Meditites because them being part Psychic as well as fighting makes them weak to Ghost-type moves. Therefore, even if they use the move Detect, we still have a faster chance of knocking them out by using Astonish than we would scratching them down and then using Astonish against the Machop and against the Makuhita later on. It's just faster to do it this way. You would think that. However, as you're going to see with the first Meditite that we go against, that's not this Meditite, obviously, you'll see how lucky the AI can sometimes get with the move Detect. And we'll just leave it at that until we actually get to there. So yeah, if you are looking to, use Sableye for the entirety of this gym, again, the biggest thing I could recommend is either A, grind to level 13 to get Astonished to make the gym even easier from the get-go, or if you're going to do it right away like I'm doing it, go against the Machop and the Makuhita first, because Scratch is going to be better useful against them and won't take as long to defeat as it would against the Meditites. Get yourself up to level 13 like I'm going to be doing, and then get yourself an Astonish to make the Meditites much easier to deal with. But yeah, every single Pokemon in this gym has nothing but normal and fighting style moves, and I think Meditite might have Confusion, but Sableye also being part dark, again, immune. Like, this entire gym is just a area that Sableye can take advantage of. Luckily, Sableye's in the nearby Granite Cave don't make their own army and look to take over the entire town, as it feels like this entire town has nothing but fighting and normal and psychic type Pokemon, and well, how are they going to be able to stop Sableye if they're not affected by any of the moves being used against them? Now, with Astonish, we now have, again, an easier chance of dealing with these Meditites. However, in this first bout, you will see Detect work, I believe, 5 times in a row. Something I have never seen before in my entirety of watching Detect being a move. Detect and Protect, both of which. At most, I'll see Detect work, I think at the most I've ever seen it work is up to 3 times in a row. I have never in my entire life seen it Detect 5 times in a row without fail. All right, and you should have heard my frustration at this point in the middle of recording it. Seeing him hit Detect after Detect after Detect. He finally goes for a Meditate, but then he lands another Detect afterwards. And it gets even funnier when you also add into the fact that then the next Meditite I go against doesn't even use it once. There you go, 4 times now. It doesn't even use it once against you. The AI is very random on like what moves it wants to use. It obviously knows, hey, I can't use it against this unless I can't use anything else. You know, if you use Meditate to its max and you can't do anything else with it, well, then why even bother? Anyway, so yeah, just like a little bit of a really annoyance in the middle of recording because I'm trying to get the entire Dewford Gym and Route 109 completed in this one part. And when you get hit by that many detects, you're like, okay, I'd like for this not to be a 20-minute part, thank you very much, because, you know, we got a number of battles that we got to take care of in Route 109. Not the worst, really, but at the same time, you know, I was, when it was going on of getting hit with that many detects, I was like, am I slated to do another near 20-minute part again? Which we kind of did, 18-minute part, not the worst, but again, really could have done well without having to deal with all those detects one after the other again and again. You know, what can you do? Anyway, so with that said, this is going to be the final female black belt that we have to go against, and then we get to go against the gym leader himself, which around then will be level 14, so our Nightshade is going to be the best use move that we can have. The reason why we decided not to use Nightshade until going against the gym leader is one of the main moves that the gym leader uses a move called Bulk Up. It is a move that raises both your attack and your defense. So because of that, moves like Astonish and Scratch aren't going to do nearly as much to him, and so we need a move that does precisely our level and damage in Nightshade to make it a little bit faster, you know, make it go through much easier. Anyways, with that said, Gym Leader Brawly. He's going to start off with a Machop, level 16 with Karate Chop, Low Kick, Seismic Toss, and Bulk Up. Again, the only move that he's capable of using in this instance is Bulk Up. We go for the Nightshade first, which is actually a bit of a misplay on my part because I should be going for either the Astonish or the Scratch before he starts using Bulk Up so I can get the most amount of damage out that I possibly can before Bulk Up stacks up to the point where, you know, my physical attacks aren't going to be doing nearly as much damage to the Machop, and then you start going for the Nightshade for the guaranteed number-based attack. Now, unfortunately, you know, we got to be dealing with super potions, you know, and so because we kind of misplayed it there, we could have defeated the Machop at about this point. However, we are going to get him down to 1 HP of damage, of course leaving it wide open for a super potion to be used. If I was smart and went for the Scratch or the Astonish out of the gate instead of using Nightshade earlier, that 1 extra damage would have been actually taken care of. So that was a massive misplay on my part. So again, it's like, okay, cool, video's going to be longer and it's all my fault because I'm Nightshaded at the worst possible time. Little things that happen. But again, not the worst thing in the world because, again, Machop can't do anything but bulk up, and Nightshade doesn't care about how much that you're going to be bulking yourself up. He doesn't care about any of the bulk ups that all of these Pokemon are going to be utilizing against him because, again, we're doing a set amount of 14 damage each time, and we are going to be hitting level 15 in the middle of the fight, so then we get that 1 extra point of damage, which does come in handy. So, Machop, done and over with. Next up, we have ourselves another Meditite. Level 16 with Focus Punch, Bulk Up, Light Screen, and Reflect. Very annoying to deal with the setup of the Light Screen and the Reflect, especially if you're set up to defeat the Meditite relatively quickly and then the Makuhita comes in. Makuhita being one of my most hated Pokemon in all of Gen 3 because it took me forever to be able to beat this guy my first time going against it because of the move Vital Throw. It would just almost two-shot me every time. And that's because I also was like running an entire team instead of just one. If I had the Combuskin level 21 as I do now, yeah, Makuhita would not be any issue whatsoever. But my first time playing, this Makuhita caught me off guard, being level 19 and being able just to basically two-shot me. It really sucked. Anyways, Makuhita level 19, Arm Thrust, Vital Throw, Reversal, and Bulk Up. Vital Throw is a guaranteed hit move. If I'm not mistaken, it's the fighting version of it. And again, it does a good amount of damage if you are not prepared to deal with a level 19 Makuhita like I was in my first go-around. And again, when you have a Meditite setting up a Light Screen or a Reflect, depending on what you're running ahead of time, you're not really going to be doing any damage to this Makuhita, and then he's just going to sweep your whole entire team. And again, happened to me when I was a kid. Obviously, it doesn't happen now because we have a Sableye, so we don't have to worry about getting hit with a vital throw or an arm thrust or a reversal, any of those. Once again, all he can do is bulk up. Now, we get relatively lucky here because Nightshade ain't doing much damage, and Brawly does have saved up another super potion to use on the Makuhita after the Makuhita just got done using the citrus berry, okay? So, because of that, we got to get ourselves a little bit lucky. We got to get it so we can do a guaranteed 15 damage no matter what. So what I end up doing is I go for an Astonish to try and lower his damage a little bit. You know, okay, cool, but I know we can do it one more time because they're not going to use it until they hit the red. And then I crit him. Now, for whatever reason, Gen 3 Pokemon has a higher chance of crits landing than any other Pokemon generation. Why that is, could not tell you. I have no earthly idea exactly why. But because of that, you'll find yourself in numerous occasions critting your opponent to death, or you yourself getting crit to death. That's why whenever someone looks to do a Nuzlocke challenge, it's always suggested that you do it on a Gen 3 game, whether it's Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, or Fire Red, Leaf Green. And the reason for that is because it is a tougher challenge, because the rates of getting hit by a crit are, for some reason, higher in Gen 3 than any other generation. So, and as you saw right there, you know, I got myself a good number of crits in this gym alone, you know, and none of them are really that high of a crit-based hitting moves. So, you know, whatever. With that said, we are done with Dewford Town. We will find ourselves coming back later after we get ourselves a particular badge to get ourselves, I believe it's a TM move that we can get. But outside of that, there's not really much else that we can do there. We got the badge and we can actually move on to Saleport. No, Slateport. I keep saying like Staleport for some reason, but we're in Slateport City. And this is route number 109. Have a number of amount of hidden items that we need to go off our way and find, and a good number of battles too. Get yourself one revive, one ether. Talk to this girl, she gives yourself some soft sand. There is a great ball, you can get yourself a potion, a number of heart scales that you can get, and a good couple of battles that you can do as well. Starting off with the sailor over here. This is where we start dealing with a lot of more water-based Pokemon. This is where we have some Wingles, we have some Merrills, Tentacles. You know, we basically went from fighting side to now we're at the water side because we're on a beach. You know, kind of what you expect. With that said, in route number 109, if you are surfing, you have yourselves a 60% chance to get a Tentacool, 35% chance for a Wingull, and a 5% chance for a Pelipper. I believe they're all the exact same stats as you can get them on the routes of the water and Dewford Town anyways. But again, because it's a new video, we might as well go through them as well. This is for all three versions, by the way. If you're fishing with the old rod, a 30% chance for a Tentacool with a 70% chance for a Magikarp. With the good rod, you have a 20% chance for a Tentacool, 60% chance for a Magikarp, and 20% chance for a Wailmer. And if you're using the super rod, you have a 100% chance that you can get yourself a Wailmer. So, again, I believe those are the exact same stats as they were in Dewford Town, Route 106, and I believe even if you are surfing on Route 105 and 108 and all the other routes, because it's a really big ocean that you actually end up swimming in and going back through because there's like a sunken ship or something that we got to get something out of in the future. You know, there's a lot of water. And I believe the stats are the same for all of them, unless I'm completely mistaken. Get ourselves some Fury Swipes because, you know, in case we run out of other moves, Fury Swipes could be good. If you don't know, Fury Swipes is one of those, can hit 2 to 5 times with only a power of 18. So if you want it to be as good as Scratch, it has to hit 3 times to be stronger than Scratch. If you only hit it twice, you do 2 damage less than you would with a basic Scratch. So we're not going to get rid of Scratch for Fury Swipes because Scratch itself can still be a relatively decent move to keep around just in case. You know, you have a 35 PP for it, so you can go long distances with it for the time being until we get a better move set for our boy Sableye. Now this is a weird little trio battle that you can find yourself into because it can go one of 3 ways really. You can go against the 2 tubers, or you can go against one of the male tuber and the sailor, or the female tuber and the sailor. And I don't know how the game determines which ones are the ones that spot you. And then afterwards, you go against the third one immediately after. And again, I don't know how it determines which are the two that see you first. In my test playthrough and in this run, both times the sailor saw me. And the first time it was the female tuber that went against me, and the second time it was the male tuber. And this time, the male tuber is the one that went against me. But the sailor noticed me both times. So I don't know exactly what it is that causes the game to know which one should notice you first. It could be completely at random. I'm not exactly sure. But with these two out of the way, we go against the female tuber. After we get ourselves a call for a rematch. I think we also get a rematch call. It's not with this female tuber. It's another tuber later on in this exact part. But yeah, outside of surfing and fishing, there's no other wild Pokemon you can get here, much like in Dewford Town. It's just nothing but sand, and we don't have any sand run into Pokemon until later on in this game. So basically, you're kind of stuck with, if you haven't gotten a water Pokemon yet, it's probably a good chance to go every way to get your water Pokemon. I'm not going to get a water Pokemon over here just yet. There's a particular water Pokemon that I'm pretty sure everyone and their grandmother knows what it is I'm going to be going for, and by God, am I not looking forward to trying to get it. It's going to be insane, it's going to be stupid, but I want it, I will get it, and I will get it the legit way. I am not going to Game Shark my way to getting it. I will get it a legit way, and I will showcase me getting it a legit way. Not the entirety of it. I am going to edit it out, obviously, because we could be here for who knows how long. I know that it can get ridiculous, the amount of stuff that you got to do in order to get this Pokemon. Whatever, I want it, I will get it. That's just the way it is. Anyways, you get yourself another heart scale hidden just right above the man with the Zigzagoon over there. Get yourself a potion. Then we got another 2 tubers that we got to go against. 2 tubers, sounds like YouTubers, whatever. They run a stat, basically, playing 2 tentacles, and I believe, what are they called? Azraels? Let's see here. And it is, in fact, Azrael. Okay. Or Azrael. Azrael. Whatever. Again, Gen 3 Pokemon I don't know the names of all too well. For the longest time, Meditite, what did I refer to it as? I don't even remember. But, I do not know Gen 3 Pokemon all that well. So, you're going to hear me mess up a lot of Pokemon names. Just the way it's going to go, you can deal with it. You're here just to see where all the items and all the battles anyways, and just because, for whatever reason, people like watching me play Pokemon. Just because I did it in, Gen 2 for fun, why not? But hey, what can you do? I mean, they're still fun for me. I can't only play them because it does get dull for me, and the fact of the matter is games can get dull for me really quickly if I do the same thing over and over and over again. So, that's why I can't do Pokemon into Pokemon into Pokemon. I would drive myself completely insane. That's why I can only do Pokemon maybe once every year and a half, once every 2 years, depending on, what it is I feel like doing. It just so happened to hit at the right time where I'm like, hey, there's not really much else I want to do for the channel. Let's go ahead and start doing Pokemon Emerald right now. Whereas, if this was about a year ago, then again, a year ago, I was finishing out Pokemon Blue, but there's no way I could have went straight from Pokemon Blue straight into Pokemon Emerald. There was just no way that was going to happen. I can get myself worn down of Pokemon. That's why when I tried doing, Pokemon Nuzlocke Run not too long after doing Pokemon Blue, I couldn't finish it because scheduling-wise, it didn't work. But even if it did work scheduling-wise, there was no way I was going to be able to do it because it was just Pokemon into Pokemon. And I was already getting bored of it. I was like, I did Pokemon Walkthrough Blue. I need to do something else. Anyways, that's going to call it a part right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we'll catch you all in the next part.